So as we go through the story and we get a lot of reveals, we get a lot of power-ups, the characters progress, it's very natural for us to often go back and look at other characters we've met before and compare them to what we have now, especially with Straw Hats and other, villains or antagonists in the story. And a name that's brought up quite often these days is Katakuri, since we've kind of met him and it seems that we kind of got over him, but is he really over? Does he still have a lasting impact on other characters in the story and how we perceive them? And that's what I really want to talk about, the issues surrounding Katakuri. Now, if you haven't and you're new to the channel, please subscribe. You could have been here before and you saw a video, but yeah, you haven't yet subscribed, and pushing that red button goes a long way, so please do so. And another thing is, if you want to know where you should be to watch this without any spoilers, then might as well check the description. I put a tag there for all my videos. So like I was saying, the issues surrounding Katakuri. Now, I think one thing that's often a trope in shonen anime and shonen, series, especially the action and superpowered ones, is the idea that every progressive antagonist gets stronger every time, right? That's just a classic thing where it's like the next enemy, it will be harder to defeat than the previous enemy. And naturally, with Katakuri having passed, we expect that everyone we meet from now on should be stronger than Katakuri, or at least more difficult than Katakuri, because we've passed him, we've overcome him, and so we're on to the next one. And for a big part, I think that's the issue that we see with King and Queen, in which they don't seem to measure up to just how great or just how incredible Katakuri was. Yes, when they were introduced, they did have cool designs, interesting personalities, but as far as their feats and actually being able to do anything, they haven't seemed at all nearly as competent as Katakuri did. Now, my friend Rono Arc has a video on his channel surrounding this particular topic, and I would just probably invite you to go watch that, because then I could just skip ahead and talk about other parts of this video. But yeah, I think Katakuri did in some regard mess up the whole perception of the way we now view King and Queen, especially with this arc and everything going on in Onigashima. But I mean, if you look a bit deeper than that, then you also see, what the issue with Katakuri is, as far as, people not thinking that great of him, the fact that he doesn't seem to be all that good anymore or all that impressive, because it feels like we've just gone leagues above anything he was able to do. But I think the issue with that is Luffy. Like I said before, the issue is that, we're trying to make every next arc better and more dangerous than the previous one. But I think for Oda, the issue is, how do you do that but still make previous characters relevant, right? Because a lot of characters often tend to come back in One Piece, they just never disappear. Like in Arlong Park, we met Hachi, but then he came back again in Sabaody, right? And there's many characters who we can look at and be like, okay, they disappeared, like Bellamy after Jaya, but Dressrosa, Bellamy came back. Minor characters come back, major characters come back, Whitebeard, we've been coming back to him over and over again. So how do you do that and still make the characters relevant, especially in something like strength, right? How do you say Luffy overcame this person, Luffy's grown since then, but this character is still relevant in strength? How do you portray that? Right? And I think that is the issue that Katakuri falls into, because often at times we kind of just look at the whole Luffy Katakuri thing. We say, okay, yeah, Luffy fought Katakuri, it was kind of a draw, Luffy kind of won that, and it's, Luffy's grown since then, so Katakuri's been left in the dust, and everyone who's grown since then and now in Onigashima is also kind of leaving Katakuri in the dust, so there, he's not really that relevant anymore. But I think that it's something that Oda probably struggles with a lot of characters, especially the commanders, because with the Yonko, I imagine that it's probably easier, because the Yonko and the admirals is kind of like they're at the top, so even though he shows them a bit, he'll never fully make them lose unless it's to another character in that group, in that echelon. They never actually really go all out or show what they're worth until right now in the story, right? When we're facing Kaido and Big Mom, that's when he's really showing us what they're worth. So with characters like the commanders, in which they're not at the top but they're just kind of there, how do you show them off but still make them relevant in the next arc? And I think this is probably not just an issue that's with Katakuri, commanders in general, and even the warlords. How do you show that the warlords are still, some of the biggest and baddest pirates in the sea, but they're just not, at that top level, right? For a long time, we've all speculated how strong Boa is, and we're still not sure. We get information every day that makes us question, is she really stronger or weaker? And we're really not sure. And I think Oda always likes us to be unsure. It's just that Katakuri ended up versing the MC. Now, about that fight with Katakuri and Luffy, there was a lot that happened in that fight, and I think that it's very clear for everyone, right, who witnessed that fight, unless you skipped past it. Let's not even talk about that. But, going back to that fight, it's clear that if Luffy wasn't the MC, he would have been done in, right? Even if you move past the whole thing of Katakuri enjoying the fight, if you move past the whole day of Katakuri, trying to destroy Luffy's will instead of kill him, even if you move past that, Luffy probably should have still died or lost in that fight if he wasn't the MC, right? And so looking at this, you have to then think that, how strong is Katakuri really if he was versing someone else? And, I could probably make a whole video about that, but at least for this video, I think that the whole idea of Katakuri in Whole Cake Island was just to kind of show off his power more than show what he was fully capable of, right? Because Katakuri was always able to match Luffy at every point in that fight, whether Luffy had energy or whether he didn't. Everything Katakuri did was able to match Luffy no matter what happened. And so I think that is the whole point that happened there, right? That Katakuri, even though Luffy may get stronger, we still haven't seen Katakuri just, do the best he can, right? We still haven't seen him just go all out, because most of that fight was just matching against Luffy. And because even at the end of that fight, it seemed like Katakuri lost, we then think that, okay, you know what, that's the limit of Katakuri's power, right? But even when Luffy left, Katakuri asked him, will you come back to Whole Cake Island again to defeat Big Mom in the future? And Luffy says yes, and Katakuri, it seems like he's happy with that, right? That if Luffy's coming back, that he's happy with the outcome of this fight, and so he just falls down again. So to some extent, it's kind of like at that point, Katakuri just kind of said, no, I'm fine, not fighting anymore. So does that mean that Katakuri was out of energy and he just wanted to know that? Or does that mean that, Katakuri probably still could have gotten up, but he was fine with leaving it there for now, right? How do you interpret these things? And I think that, Oda wants to leave these questions open. And I think the danger comes when we close the doors and say that, okay, that's all Katakuri is capable of, and that's the limit. So yeah, now that we know the max of his strength, then we can move on from there. Because I think Oda often does something where he always leaves the full potential of a character left unknown, unless it's off screen, right? Unless it's something that, we know happened, but we didn't actually see it. And even with the off-screen stuff, he doesn't often, tell us what exactly transpired. So we're left wondering, what could have happened for the outcome to be as it was. Perfect example is God Valley. Did people go all out in God Valley? What happened there? We're not sure, but we just kind of know the outcome of it. So coming back to Katakuri and the comparisons, when people talk about Zoro versus Katakuri now, which, tell me if I should make a video about that. I'm thinking about making a video, but the comparison between Zoro versus Katakuri, other supernova, other characters in Onigashima, Beast Pirates, how he compares to other Yonko crews and admirals, I think it is a very big mistake to just, cap Katakuri at what we saw in Whole Cake Island and say that is the limit of everything he's capable of, even against other characters, because the situation could change very drastically and completely be different if Luffy was not the MC, and if they hadn't decided to take the fight in the manner that they took the fight in Whole Cake Island. But that's all I have to say about Katakuri right now. Like, the problem of, at the end of the day, how do you make Luffy as an MC overcome characters but not undermine their strength, right? And of course we could all come up with different answers, and let me know what you think, right? How do you not undermine someone and keep them relevant but still help Luffy overcome them? Is this an issue that Oda frequently has, or do you think that Oda's managed it pretty well throughout the story? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Like this video if you like the video, and subscribe for more content. If you have time, please watch one more video, and if not, thank you for watching this video thus far, guys. This is King KZ, and I'll see you in the next one.